Hello and welcome to the first episode in the Get Started with Virgil Security E3Kit guide. In this video, you'll learn the basics of end-to-end encryption and how it can be used to protect data in your product. My name is Matos Cardozo and I'm a Developer Relations Engineer at Virgil Security. Virgil Security's developer toolkits make it possible for any development team to protect their application data using state-of-the-art end-to-end encryption without having to build it from the ground up. Before we get our hands dirty, it's useful to know the basic concepts behind end-to-end encryption. End-to-end encryption works like this. Let's say we have a healthcare app for patient follow-ups. So the patient goes to see the doctor, and then over the next few days, they'll chat about the patient's treatment. This conversation contains patient-protected health information and needs to be secured against any kind of data breach. So we're going to end-to-end encrypt. So in this case, we have Bob, the patient, and Alice, the doctor. The first thing they need to do in order to have a back-and-forth conversation that is end-to-end encrypted is to generate public and private key pairs. A public key is what you use to encrypt data for someone, and a private key is what you use to decrypt data that was encrypted with your public key. The second thing is they're going to send over copies of their public keys to each other so they can encrypt messages for each other. They need to keep their private keys secret so only they can decrypt their conversations. Once they have their own private keys and each other's public keys, they can begin their secure conversation. Now Bob encrypts his message with Alice's public key and sends over the encrypted message. Once Alice receives the encrypted message, she will decrypt it with her private key, and this process goes back and forth. So it's the same process for Alice when she wants to send Bob a message. And this makes the developer's life easy because wherever the message is sent and stored in your product, it will look just like scrambled gibberish to anyone who isn't Alice or Bob. So what does this look like in practice? First, let's see the high-level components of this puzzle. You have your application, some kind of public key service, and your IP messaging solution. The application will have the job of generating a cryptographic key pair, as well as encrypting and decrypting the messages. And that's done with our E3Kit SDK. The public key service is where the application will publish its public key once it's generated and will fetch the public key of other users that it wants to communicate with. And this service is provided by Virgil Security, and the communication with it is also done via E3Kit. And finally, your messaging service of choice will distribute the encrypted messages between users. That can be Twilio, Firebase, or something you built yourself. Thank you for watching. Sign up at virgilsecurity.com and stay tuned for the next part where we'll walk through the steps of configuring your E3Kit application in the Virgil Security dashboard.